Welcome to another episode of Brawl Till We Fall. If you don't know by now, my name is Teo, aka Tony Ant-Man Oso, and I'm here to bring you Brawl Till We Fall. This week, we're going to have highlights, and this is what I'm going to be doing from now on. I'm going to be doing highlights. Not going to be doing a lot of recaps because most of you have seen the show already. So recaps is unnecessary. So I'm just going to do the highlights of what happened on each show, starting with Raw, NXT, and then SmackDown, and talk about that as well. Just want to give y'all an update on some things that's going to be happening on Brawl Till We Fall. Today we'll be airing two shows. This is going to be the first show. The premiere show is going to be AEW this week because they have a pay-per-view that's happening tonight. So I'm going to do my talk about the pay-per-view that's coming on tonight. And basically, because with AEW, you can't really predict anything, but I'm going to give you some predictions of what I think may happen at AEW Dynasty tonight. This week, Thursday, will be airing our first show on Thursdays, which will be featuring my brothers. So my brothers will be with me this Thursday to do our predictions for the upcoming draft. So the draft picks will be coming up on Friday of SmackDown and Monday Raw next week. So my brothers will be with me on Thursday to do a special show, and we probably do this every month or during the time where they have pay-per-views for WWE and some of AEW, because not all my brothers watch AEW. So that's what's coming up. So let's get started. All right. So let's start off with Raw. Raw had a few highlights. It started off with Rhea Ripley coming out, injured Rhea Ripley, I should say, because of the attack of Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan attacked her from behind. If you didn't see the show, hit her with a chair. And she's hurt pretty badly, bad enough that she had to vacate her championship. So then she's going to be out for a while, leaving the opening for anyone to basically come in and become the interim champion until she returns, which she vows to come back spewing blood. So, with that being what it is, she was in the ring talking about this, and Liv Morgan came out and laughed at her, pretty much taunted her to come and do something to her. So, didn't do anything to Liv, but she did knock out her referee. Moving on, Sheamus. Let's talk about Sheamus. Sheamus made a return. I see this much though. I'll say this. Sheamus gained a little bit of weight. He looks like the old Sheamus. So he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. He took on Ivar, which I found strange since Ivar has been making his appearance over at NXT challenging Obafemi. If this was a match for Ivar to get ready for Obafemi, he failed miserably because Sheamus took that boy out. Yes, Sheamus won that match, and this is where Ivar needs to rethink his challenge to Obafemi. Just a thought. All right, moving on. The comedy of the night. Triple H came out and presented new World Tag Titles, and that's what they're going to be called. Not Raw Tag Team, none of that. Just the World Tag Team Champions. So he presented these tag titles to R-Truth and The Miz. They won the ladder match at WrestleMania. If you know, if you don't know, you know now. And it was a whole level of comedy. Your boy R-Truth took things to a whole nother level. And what I mean by that, he first of all, which we already know that he suffers from some type of delusion, that he thinks that Tommaso Ciampa is Triple H and Triple H is Tommaso Ciampa, which is what he called Triple H. Besides the other things that he called him, a magician, a crafty genie, and he just went off about how he pulled up the curtain to reveal the new titles as if he just made them magically appear. Now, either he's eating too much Lucky Charms or he's smoking some Puff Puff. Anyway, regardless of the fact, it was comical. Triple H did leave the ring. Don't know if it was because he was upset about the situation or he just had other things to do. Either way, they have the new belts, and then right after that, Adam Pearce announced that there will be 3 teams that will face each other to face them for their titles. And so we move on. And that's exactly what happened. And the new number 1 contenders is DIY. Yes, DIY defeated the Creed Brothers and New Day to get this challenge. And honestly, I don't see Awesome Truth being champions long. DIY is the perfect challengers to take them titles from them. So we will see what happens. Other small news, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell on the same cheating page as they defeated Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile. And that, not going to get into all of that. But Damian Priest, my brother, he's an Hispanic brother like me. He's Puerto Rican, just like me. I'm Puerto Rican and black, though. I'm mixed. But we both from the Bronx. And so what happens when you do something successful, you go back to where you came from and never forget where you came from. The other thing that we have in common is that I've been homeless as well. So I know the struggle to rise from poverty and rise out of that situation and get somewhere and feel accomplished. So I give claps to my man, Damian Priest. He deserves the championship, and I hope he keeps it long. You know what I'm saying? He is the first, and I'm going to say Puerto Rican champion. So that brother deserves all the respect, and he got my respect. So that being said, Damian, as the new leader, now that Mommy had to step away, Damian has taken over, and he hyped up Dominique to go out there to face Andrade and got the whole team hyped up, So Dom went out there with his chest all poked out. And he got beat down by Andrade. Andrade ain't nothing to play with. I don't even know why they would even put that match together unless it's just comedy. And that's just the way I look at it. It was comedy. So now I will give Dom the respect though. He did a couple of moves I didn't expect him to do. So I give him that respect. He did take it to Andrade better than I thought he would. Using his pops moves and all of that. But to no avail. Andrade won, and then they tried to beat him down, and then my boy Ricochet came for the assist, and that's the end of that. Moving on, the champ Cody Rhodes made another appearance on Raw, talked about The Rock and his future. Not going to get into details about that. But another person that my boy Damian hyped up was Finn Balor. And he wanted him to go out there and basically loosen up Jey Uso because he knows he's got to fight him for that belt. So he hyped him up, says you're going to go out there and face Jey Uso and show him what it's like to lose. Well, that didn't happen. Jey Uso pulled off the win and beat Finn Balor in the middle of the ring. And then they tried to jump on my boy, but he escaped. And this was my highlight of the night. He ran all the way up because I love Montreal. Montreal is my second home. So ran up the stairs, went outside, and this is my highlight. He met up with none other than Sami Zayn, who was looking at the front entrance where he started because he's from Montreal. So he started there and he was hyped up, and he went out and he did just what he was supposed to do. Finale of Raw was Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship. And that was a heck of a match. That was the main event of the night, the highlight of the night. Give it up to Sami Zayn. he pulled off all the stops. But here's the catch. Although that's what went down, check this out. It wasn't the match that was the highlight of the night. It was what happened after the match. As Sami Zayn is cheering with his family and enjoying his momentous occasion, Chad snapped. He snapped, suplexed my man Sami, and just went off on him. This is a storyline that's probably been brewing for a minute, because Chad feels that he has it, and he just don't know what he got to do next to get that belt. So, yeah, it was the very good ending and a new start to a whole new storyline, as the only WWE can do. So we're going to stay tuned and see what happens. All right, we're going to climb into NXT. No breaks, because this is going to be a very short one. So, highlight from NXT was simple. The highlight for me was the finale, the last main event of the night. But I'm going to get into some of the stuff that took place on NXT. Noam Dar defeating Dijak was a highlight for me. What are they doing to this big man? What are they doing? Dijak is a big, powerful dude, and he's a monster. And even though he didn't beat or defeat Obafemi, which was not expected anyway, and especially not of me, Obafemi is a beast. There's a difference. He still could be used. He could be a tag team partner with anybody, or just be a monster that he is and go out there and do stuff. Him losing to somebody like Noam Dar, now I give Noam Dar, he got some technical skills, but come on now. Let's make it believable. All right? Moving on, the argument that Josh Briggs and Ivar had was factual. First of all, Josh cannot beat Obafemi. We've learned that at Stand and Deliver. And Ivar, which getting to the match also that I missed on Raw. Okay, so Sheamus beating Ivar was an easy match. I took a look at it. If you cannot beat Sheamus, there is no way you can beat Obafemi Ivar. You either stay in Raw or you come to NXT and take a seat. You're not going to beat Obafemi if you just lost to Sheamus. Now, I think I mentioned this. If this is what you were trying to build up to build your momentum to face Obafemi, you failed miserably. And I'm sure Obafemi is looking at this like, you can't beat him, you're not going to beat me. So I already know. Moving on, not going to waste no more time on that. Ilya Dragunov versus Javon Evans. Man, I'm going to tell you, Javon Evans is a force to be reckoned with. This kid is coming, and he's coming for belts, and he's going to get them. He ain't no joke. He is no joke. I'll take it a step further. This dude, I think, could beat the one that calls himself him. I think that he actually can beat Melo. I think that Melo is not even on his level. This kid is fast, he got the speed, agility. He got so many things that he made Ilya Dragunov sweat. But to no avail, Ilya won, and that's that. But I'm going to give that kid his props. In other matches, drama and drama that happened, Lola Vice defeated Soruka. Natalya appeared on the screen after the match and challenged Lola Vice to an underground match next week on NXT's Spring Break-In. Whew. That's gonna be another one. I'm gonna be talking about that one next week. Ridge Holland defeated Jaquan Wild of LWO. Anyway, No Quarter Catch crew got in the ring, and they was, they interrupted the D'Angelo family on some personal business. that led to a brawl. So I'm not gonna get into all of that either. To me, it's leading up to a new storyline, which only WWE can do. Thea Hale lost to Tatum Paxley, which was surprising, but not surprising. Taking that who was outside the ring. But anyway, the Authors of Pain defeated Idris Anofe and Malik Blade. Authors of Pain are beast. That was an easy match for them. Moving on, the highlight of my night was the steel cage between Trick and Mello, and they delivered. Okay, this was a brawl for the ages. Back and forth, and they both showed the skills that I said that they needed to show. I didn't even know the things that my man Trick was capable of until this match. He actually showed and pulled out all the stops. He showed some real skills. So I take it back. Maybe he is ready for Ilya. We shall find out. Because Trick Williams pulled off the win against my boy against my boy Mello, the one that calls himself him. And I guess this is the last match for Mello. I think that maybe he'd be going on SmackDown now. And he just wanted to put his boy over one more good time. But he went out. He had all the tricks in his bag. But he got tricked by the one and only Trick Williams. So that ends NXT night as Ilya Dragunov did look on and know, okay, I see what's going on here. Trick Williams, I'll be waiting for you. So can't wait to see that happen. All right, so now I'm going to go into a commercial break because there's a few things going on SmackDown. They need their own segment. So I'll see you in a minute. We are back. Let's talk about SmackDown. That's right, WWE's premiere show right now because it is a lot, and I say a lot, of things happening here. So, SmackDown starts off with LA Knight versus AJ Styles. It's a rematch from WrestleMania. This title match is to determine who's going to face Cody Rhodes for the championship. It was a great back and forth match, and both of them did show their skills, which I also asked for last week. So it shows that WWE or somebody from WWE is listening. So they showed their skills. It was a great back and forth match, but to no avail. AJ Styles pulled off the win. Yes, which actually I'm not surprised about. Like I talked about last week, AJ Styles is an excellent wrestler. He is one of the top tier. When you get endorsed by Ric Flair, you are the top tier. As Ric Flair always states, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And AJ Styles was the man and still is the man. LA Knight is a second level because I saw LA Knight in other wrestling promotions. So I know what he's capable of. But he is not really on the level of AJ Styles. AJ Styles, even though he doesn't get the respect as other wrestlers like CM Punk, he is on that CM Punk level. And that's a match that I'm waiting for. That's what I want to see. That's the match for the ages right there. That right there would make my day. That's like, to me, AJ Styles versus CM Punk is equivalent to me, and this is my opinion, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. Two great technical wrestlers that can hit you with anything at any time. So, AJ Styles deserved that win. Now, will he beat Cody? I don't think so. He ain't ready for Cody to lose that belt yet. And even though he is on that level, it will be a hell of a fight. In fact, I look forward to this fight than if it was a LA Knight versus Cody Rhodes. That would be too commercialized. But AJ Styles is going to bring it to Cody. He's going to test his skills. So I look forward to that match. All right, so now we have a behind the scenes segment, and this is where it gets tricky. Not tricky, but crazy. All right, so Solo stepped out in a suit, looking real gangster. The chain, the suit, the dark colors, that's gangster. And the wise man was there to greet him, and his cousin. He said to the wise man that his cousin is the newest member of the bloodline, and his MFT. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what the hell an MFT is. I'm gonna look it up though. Anyway, so with that being what it is, Solo is making moves. And the wise man don't know what to do about it. And then he asked, where's KO? What does Kevin Owens have to do with the bloodline? Now I know they had that beef in the past, but is Solo just eliminating everybody that had beef with the bloodline? That's a whole lot of people. It's a whole list. Drew McIntyre is on that list. There's a John Cena. There's a whole list of people. If that's what he's doing, taking out everybody that ever had any issues with the bloodline, you would have to even resurrect the Undertaker. Anywho, moving on. So I'm gonna get back to the Bloodline saga because there's a lot of things that took place, but or a few things that took place. But I'm gonna move on. Triple H back in the ring again on SmackDown, handing out another set of belts. This is for the tag team champions over on SmackDown brand, which I will give another shout out to my brother Jermaine, who predicted that they were going to separate the titles in the first place. So, I give that shout out to Jermaine for that. I didn't see that one coming just yet. But anyway, so out comes A-Town Down, which my boy calls them the A-Clown Down crew. And they came out to get these belts, and it wasn't no comedy because I didn't like how they disrespected Triple H no more than anybody in the ring. And they got their belts or whatever, but not before it was announced that their opponents will be decided in a fatal four-way. Now, honestly, I didn't see the results of this happening, but the way that it did. Again, AOP, great team. They need to stay over in NXT though, and just destroy everybody over there. I'm tired of seeing them face the Street Profits, but that was the two of the teams, and then you had Legado del Fantasma, and then you had New Catch Republic. New Catch Republic is a great team. However, they don't have the muscle that's needed. Yeah, that boy, he's a big, strong boy, but he ain't big. All right, so the end, like I said, I'm just doing highlights. Street Profits won, and they will now be facing the A-Town Down for the championships and see what happens from there. So, in that match, though, I want to just point out that Montez Ford is a very, very great high flyer. I don't want to see him separate from his partner, but he did some things in that match. And there was some comedy in that match, too. Somebody got kicked in the ass. I ain't going to say who, but inadvertently. But at the high flying part of it with the New Catch Republic going in one direction and him coming out in the middle, that was awesome. That was some awesome choreography. I don't know who choreographed that, but that was tight. I give him credit for that one. Back to the Bloodline. Solo and Paul Heyman in the ring segment. Um, and they had a back and forth. But this shows that Paul no longer has control over the Bloodline. He didn't have control before, but at least he could talk to the tribal chief. He can't talk to Solo. Solo ain't hearing him, and I think Solo, from looking at him and the expression on his face when Paul Heyman talks, he doesn't really like Paul Heyman like that. I think he just tolerates him. Maybe because he can get some stuff done or whatever. I don't know. But I don't see Solo as like the tribal chief would be to respect Paul Heyman's opinions or anything. I don't think Paul Heyman has any more control over the bloodline, especially Solo. And definitely not his cousin, Tamatonga, because as he introduced him, he brought KO out, all bloodied up, threw him out, and they continued to beat him down because, KO is not going to stay down. And then we find out in the back that Tamatonga took his rental car and ran it into KO's rental car, which is what caused the blood in the first place, I believe. We didn't see it, and the cameras was there when it happened, but you can assume this is what happened. But anyway, allegedly, I should say. But he brought him out, and again, problems with authority. The authority came out and said, listen, if you can't control these guys, then I'm going to have to do something about it. Paul Heyman looked like he saw ghosts. He knows. There's no control there. The crowd is now yelling for Roman to come back before they booed the hell out of him and booed him out the arena and wanted him to lose the belt to Cody and Cody to finish his story. Now you want the tribal chief to come back. Why? Because these dudes are crazy? Wait till the other cousin get there. I'll just leave that there. And there's a shout out to this dude that was on Facebook. When I told him, it don't matter how many members from the past, history, or whatever come out or come. The Bloodline's family is so big that it would take all of them to defeat them. And now they got cousins coming, and I'm showing you what their cousins are capable of. If you didn't believe me, now watch what happens. Anywho, moving on. Santos Escobar versus Carlito. Now this is a storyline that I had made reference to before WrestleMania, when Dragon Lee got attacked. I still believe that it was Carlito. No matter how nice he looks and all that, I think Carlito is the one who beat up Dragon Lee. Santos Escobar and the whole Phantasmo they denied it. If they do something, they're going to say, I did it. But they did not take credit for the beating of Dragon Lee, which leaves somebody in LWO as guilty. My money is on Carlito. And with everything happened with this match, I believe he will reveal himself sooner than later because he lost to Santos. All right, moving on towards the main event. Up in the bleachers, the Damage Control was up there talking crap. And then they were joined by the EST and Jade Cargill, who sat next to them. Not directly next, but in the next section. To watch the main event, Naomi versus Bayley. So we didn't have no interruptions. Nobody came out except in the end. Now this was a great back and forth match. And I wanted to see who would win this match. They went back and forth. This was an awesome match. But it was interrupted by none other than Tiffany Stratton. Now I'm going to tell you like this. Tiffany's talented. I give her the skills. In fact, in the end of the match, it showed when she did the most beautiful moonsault, the prettiest moonsault I've ever seen, leaving Bayley and Naomi in the ring laid out to end SmackDown. But I'm going to tell you like this. Tiffany, you're barking up the wrong tree. You're brand new, and you got skills. But if you face either, and you've shown Naomi beat your behind last week, Bailey is going to punish you. So, you should start at the bottom and work your way up. Don't start at the top, because you're going to get knocked all the way down. That's just my advice to you, young ladies. Now, that's the end. This segment of Brawl Till We Fall, the WWE segment. And we will have more to come next week. Brawl Till We Fall. But for right now, I'm going to say peace, hair grease, and all that good stuff. And we out.